Yo, Henry here with Average Views Slow-Pitch. Today we're getting a chance to bring out the two-piece models of Phil Matt's signature line Bedlams. So we've got the 13.5-inch balance model, and then we've got the 12.5-inch XL model. So from Worth, XL is that 0.5 end load. So we're interested to see kind of how these ones perform. Both the bats we've got today are 27 ounces. We're gonna go ahead and throw them on the tester. Not sure I know it seemed like a lot of the bats have dropped so far this year from like Mike and Easton, they've stiffened up the barrels. So we'll base off the compression, determine kind of how many swings. But as always, no more than 100 swings, about 20 to 30 52s. Then we roll with Pro M's at that point. But if either of these start sub 260, expect kind of less swings on whichever one that is. But just kind of want to see the difference between them, how they feel with kind of longer barrel, shorter barrel, balance, end load, things like that. But we'll go ahead, roll out the 52s, followed by Pro M's, come back with final compression, final thoughts. All right, let's see where our two-piece Worth Bedlams Phil Matt's signature series line of bats. Test that. The balance again, 13.5. Dial that up to 0. We're looking right at 250, so this should be nice and game ready. Just like always with bats that start kind of under that 260 mark, we pretty much just get some 52s on there, see how they perform, and then just a handful of Pro M's, assuming it feels game ready. If it doesn't, we'll put enough swings to where, in our opinion, it feels kind of game ready, so that you know kind of what that compression point is at the time that you are going to go ahead and game it. And obviously that can differ from bat to bat. But anyways, this is our 12.5 XL, so XL with Worth, for those that don't know, 0.5 end load. Let that sit on 0. And the shorter barrel, 12.5, we're actually just a hair under 275. So it'll definitely be interesting to see how, obviously different barrel lengths, but how the one at 250 feels straight from swing number 1 compared to the one at kind of that 275, 270 mark.
99 miles per hour. 100 miles per hour.
Well, there's our sweet spot on it.
75 miles per hour. 101 miles per hour. 74 miles per hour. 101 miles per hour.
Yeah, that's all we need for the 52s on this one. So biggest thing on this longer barrel, again, 13.5, we've noticed in the past, it's perfectly fine for 52s when you're in the sweet spot area, get good feedback, good performance. But with these longer barrels, the 52s and the ASAs, they get pretty soft, hard to kind of tell the feedback. So just something to keep in mind if you have to swing these with like 52s, real old cooked kind of Pro M's, but definitely a good option, especially as you get comfortable where that sweet spot is. Let's go ahead and try out the XL 12.5, and then we'll swap over to Pro M's.
98 miles per hour.
A little low sweet spot, but you definitely got better feedback with the, you go that in shorter on the barrel and it seems like it stiffens it up a little bit.
81 miles per hour. 74 miles per hour. 99 miles per hour.
Slightly high sweet spot. Didn't really matter. Got a little soft in that spot, but forgiveness carry, great.
Salem.
80 miles per hour. 80 miles per hour. 101 miles per hour.
Yeah, so the 12.5 is definitely the better performer for me for the 52s. Obviously the end load helps as well, but stiffer overall feel, especially on the sweet spot. Not as soft towards the ends with it being shorter, but you saw it really didn't matter carry wise. So either way, we'll have over to Pro M's. You guys really care about both of these and see how they perform.
97 miles per hour. 89 miles per hour.
There's a nice miss towards a little up of the sweet spot, but the Bedlams this year just these slightly stiffer, crisper barrels. Ball's absolutely carrying great.
82 miles per hour. 104 miles per hour.
Oh my. Whew. Whew.
101 miles per hour.
Man, this balance is just so easy to control. Good feel. Nice crisp barrel, even for being that longer 13.5-inch barrel.
81 miles per hour. 105 miles per hour.
Holy moly, this feels great.
86 miles per hour. 93 miles per hour.
Oh man, the lights over the trees. I think that's a first.
76 miles per hour. 106 miles per hour.
This bat's 100% game ready. We'll talk about it a little bit more, but let's go ahead and swap over to the end load and see how it performs. But insanely good sweet spot, crisp feel, tons of forgiveness. This thing feels amazing, and I'm not really a balanced fan, so.
102 miles per hour.
Man.
101 miles per hour.
Feels so good off these barrels.
76 miles per hour.
Good feedback already. First swing, warning track.
94 miles per hour.
And that's towards the end. But we've already been saying it with these Bedlams. The forgiveness is just so good, but you can feel a little bit of a softer feel from missing that sweet spot and getting it high.
82 miles per hour. 104 miles per hour.
Yeah, real good sweet spot. I mean, I think the feedback for me is a little bit better on the balance model, but this one, the sweet spot's definitely crisper. You just have a little bit less forgiveness, which makes sense on a shorter barrel bat.
82 miles per hour.
Great forgiveness.
102 miles per hour.
But then there's your sweet spot. I mean, complete gas.
86 miles per hour. 103 miles per hour.
Very easy to control too. I can 100% tell with the 27 with that little bit of end load. So with these, in the balance, go with the way you're used to.
84 miles per hour.
Very forgiveness. Good sweet spot.
105 miles per hour.
These new Bedlams, we'll talk about more in final thoughts, but great product. Look out for Phil Matt. He's going to hit some absolute tanks this year with Resi, but hopefully I don't have to pitch against him in military ball. And that's going to do it for our 12.5-inch two-piece Phil Matt Worth Bedlam. Stay tuned for the full review. These new Bedlams are gas. All right, up first we've got our 13.5-inch Worth Bedlam two-piece balanced. Gonna see where this one's testing at. If I remember correctly, this one started lower than the inload. And so right around that 75 to 100 swing mark, we are sitting just a barely over 240. So again, this one felt honestly really, really good. We'll talk about more in the final thoughts, but it needed basically 0 swings to be game ready. So with this one, if it was me, I would ideally use 52s, but if all you have is Pro M's, just go take 20, 30 swings, get a feel for it, rotate the barrel, open it up a little bit, and then put it away and game it. And I think you'll have no problems, especially with these crisper barrels from Worth on these Bedlams this year. And with the glossier paint, it's gonna help it kind of hold compression. And then here on the two-piece end load, this one we got closer to 100 swings. A few more people want to try it out. They really liked kind of the end load feel on these ones. So this is about 100, 125 swings. And this one hasn't even budged. So 270 at this point, a little under 275. So again, this one, to me, when we first started swinging it, felt a little bit stiffer, needed a few more swings. So that kind of makes sense. So give this one close to that 50 to 100 swings, and you'll still have no compression issues as far as that goes, but we'll talk about it more in the final thoughts. All right, and obviously we're back here in the garage. Wanted to let these Bedlams sit. They were in the sun for a while. We had a lot of reviews to get done on Sunday, trying to make sure we get all these bats out for you guys with kind of all the companies dropping theirs. But either way, let them sit for about 6 to 8 hours. I don't remember exactly when we got done. sat in the house along with the tester so we could get kind of the most accurate reading for you as possible. But with that being said, pink model again, 13.5-inch balance. Red model, your 12.5-inch XL, so that's gonna be your half ounce. If you ever see XXL from Worth, that is your full ounce. And with that being said, as we saw with this one, both started and ended at a higher compression, started and ended at a slightly lower compression, but both were still passing with really no issues. And I've had some people reach out and ask kind of about the gloss paint job. They're like, hey, we preferred the matte paint jobs. Why do you think they went to gloss? All that kind of stuff. And I got a chance to talk to some of the guys over there at Worth, and with kind of the stiffer connection pieces that they've gone to this year with some of the different models, we saw that with kind of the KP and the Riley as well. And the crisper barrel. With the gloss, really all it seems to be doing is helping it hold compression. We didn't see a drop off at all in performance, to be honest. This balance might be one of my favorite balance bats we've swung to date, especially in a two-piece. I'm not usually a big balance fan. Mid-load I can kind of get away with, but I swing an end load, and this one was super easy to control. Ball absolutely jumped off of it, and for being such a long barrel, that 13.5, it had an amazing sweet spot with tons of forgiveness, which is, you obviously want the forgiveness side with the longer barrels, but we're not used to seeing that top end kind of exit velo that really honestly matched right there with our 12.5 XL load. So with that being said, with these glossier paint jobs, all I would really recommend BP wise is if you have Pro-Ms, 20 to 40 kind of swings, rotating the barrel, just kind of breaking up the gloss a little bit, just so that you're ensure you're reaching the barrel once you're gaming it. But after that, you're pretty much good to go. And even then, we put again that 75 to 100, somewhere between their swings on them. And that was that repetitive BP swings. And we still saw that both of them are still passing. And so I completely believe that if you just break these in properly, get a few swings, whether it's in BP or honestly just peppering before a game, something like that, and then just game them, you're gonna see a lot of longevity here in this one, even with it being a little bit lower. And then with this one, I think we just saw 265, if I'm not mistaken, for the final compression. So this one, I would even personally, if I was gonna game it, I'd still BP it. I like to get my gamers right around that 250 mark, ideally. Obviously, it kind of depends on the brand. Some of them perform differently, but you'll have no issues compression-wise. There's no sign, even with this gloss paint job, there's no kind of cracks, seams, paint, anything like that in the barrels themselves. So I'm not really worried about durability issues either, especially with a lot of places having winter starting to get a little bit behind them. Obviously, the more north and northeast you are, that's not necessarily true, but just treat your bats correctly. These things will last you a long time. And as far as performance goes, I mean, I think we were seeing pretty close to the same exit velos that we saw last year. I think this one actually ticked up from the previous balance models. But the nice part is, and we saw the same thing with our one-piece Bedlams, whether it's the gloss or the crisper barrel, stiffer connection pieces, whatever it is, even though we're getting signed to the same exit velos, we saw tons of carry off the ball. Ball never seemed like it really wanted to come down. Everyone loved both of these. When we got done, we had a handful of people swinging each bat basically, but the guys who didn't get a chance to swing these ones saw it, wanted to swing them, and pretty much everyone loved them. And so if you're looking for kind of the two-piece realm, obviously, versus the one-piece, then these are the Bedlams to go with. Obviously, if you're a balance fan, this is your option. If you're an end load fan, here it is. But if you're somebody who prefers the longer barrel, but you're an end load person, I'll tell you, even for me, I pretty much only swing end loads. I had zero issues getting used to this one. It felt, and whether it's the longer barrel, whatever it is, it does feel almost like kind of like the mid-load feels you get from some bats. So don't let that sway away from this one. And then obviously, if you're a balance fan and normally prefer kind of the shorter barrels, I'd still highly recommend just giving this 13.5 a chance because it performed so well and honestly felt to me like I was swinging a 12.5 as far as the kind of sweet spot goes, but then you still get that kind of maximized forgiveness as well. And then on the end load, same thing, ball carried great, 12.5-inch barrel. Reminded me a lot of obviously the 12.5 from last year with just a little bit of those upgrades and kind of the way the crispness of the barrel, the little bit stiffer feel at the connection piece. And then again, the ball was carrying really, really well. So either way, these are in stock at headbangersports.com. They're also in stock over on Worth's website. We don't have a code for you on the Worth site, but if you head over to Headbanger Sports, you can use code ADS to get either of these at a discount. You can also obviously get any of the other Worth line or any other bats that you may want over there. Maybe this helped you decide on what bat you want to purchase at this point. And if you want help ordering, just reach out. We've got the link tree in the description of the video. It's got all of our links, codes to help you out, as well as contact info so you can get a hold of us. Or head over to averageslowpitch.com. There's also a contact us page on there. I will do my best to get back to you. Have some tournaments coming up soon. So those weekends get pretty busy, but every night I get back to the hotel, I do go through the messages. So just give me like 24 hours or so. If I don't get back to you, reach back out. You're not going to bother me and I'll get you kind of squared away. But either way, again, these are in my mind, real good upgrades, especially on the compression side, performance side from last year's models. So if you were already a fan of the Bedlams, look no further than kind of going and upgrading to the 2025s. I definitely think it's an upgrade worth making if you have the 2024s. And again, in stock, discount over ADS on headbangersports.com. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully it's kind of helped you decide maybe you want to grab one of these, maybe you want to go grab the one piece, different bat from a different company, whatever it is. Hopefully this just kind of was informative for you and helped you make that decision, makes your life a little bit easier. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, don't hesitate, reach out. Like I said, I'll get back to you, help you out the best I can, try to maybe help you pick the model that works best based off what you've been swinging, your current swing, all that kind of stuff. But either way, the support for the channel is much appreciated. Stay tuned for many more reviews coming throughout this year, along with some comparison stuff. We're going to bring some of these different bats back, and then some of the bats we'll even bring back for kind of part twos when we have time, obviously a little bit later in the year, as the new drops kind of slow down. So either way, thanks again. Have a great day.